What is up? My name is Ben Dunn, and you are watching the greatest full day of eating for the least amount of money as possible video ever created. I've seen so many, bulking on a budget videos, and then they ring it up, and it ends up being more than my weekly paycheck was when I was 16 years old. And this is what this video is made for. Someone who doesn't come from much, or maybe, you're between jobs, you literally, have nothing for a food budget, but you gotta eat, and you don't want to resort to the McDonald's app where you can get a double cheeseburger for 50 cents. It's honestly sad how, when you have no money, if you want to get your calories in, it's so easy to resort to the shittiest food possible, and you can get calories for less than $2 from McDonald's. Have you ever checked the deals on the McDonald's app? It's actually it's stupid how cheap you can get your food. Yeah, there is a point in my life between jobs where my bank account got drained. I had no access to it. I have zero money. I don't have a job. And I had to eat something. I would actually go scrounge for loose change on the ground, get about $2 of quarters and dimes, go to Walmart and get a couple Nature Valley Crunch bars. And this is what I did. And for my protein source, it was usually tuna. At the time, Nature Valley Crunch bars were in the clearance section. I think one was 160 calories and it was 33 cents. So that was my main carb source. Then obviously the tuna packets are usually going to be the cheapest form of protein. We're going to get our calories in as healthy as possible for as little money as possible. Obviously, this is not something that's going to be optimal. If you're watching this video, you have nothing in your bank account and you're trying to look for loose change to buy your next meal. First off, get a job. For me, when I was in this situation, I got a job at the grocery store, and before my first paycheck, the people who I worked with actually recognized the situation I was in, and they helped me buy food during break. They'd give me a $5 bill to get some food, and I would get there were these cans of baked beans for 50 cents, and beans have a solid amount of protein and carbs, very balanced food. And so I'd get a can of store brand beans for 50 cents, and I would make it in the break room, and that would be my lunch. Yeah, another option, I've had friends who worked at Chipotle, and I'm pretty sure you're allowed to make your own Chipotle bowl on your break for free. I might be completely wrong about that. If anyone works at Chipotle, let me know. Do you get that for free or not? But I'm pretty sure you do. This is a video coming from someone who has actually been through it at one point. You can tell sometimes when someone's making a budget video that they've never had a budget. Their dad probably works on the 12th floor of some tall building in Upper East Side Manhattan. But this is no offense to people who have never been on a strict budget. If you haven't had to go through that, that's awesome. Good for you. But it does offend me sometimes when someone makes a budget video when they've never been pressed for money like that. To start it off, free pre-workout. Well, not really free. Pre-workout, we're going to be doing one of these sample ones that they gave me at Vitamin Shop for buying a $2 energy drink. So I'm going to call this free because you ring it up and it costs $0. Flashpoint, the fast guy in the comic books, 250 milligrams of caffeine. That's upside down. Everything else is pretty underdosed, which is typical of some random body tech pre-workout. But hey, it's free. What are you gonna do? You can't complain when something's free. I'm gonna mix it in this diet ginger ale that was in the fridge at work. Holy shit. Yeah, oh my god. Tastes like I just drank 5 Emergen-C packets mixed with 4 liquid IVs straight to the dome. The chemical taste in this is very strong. I also mixed it with like barely any drink. So, yep, this is my rendition on Dirty Sprite. We don't fuck with lean on this channel. We just did our post-workout really cheap grocery haul, and I'll be honest, like, I'm slightly out of the game. Also, Redner's is very mid on their sales right now, so today might have not been the best day. I could have driven to Walmart, but it's the opposite direction of the gym, so I'd be wasting gas just to cheap out on food, which makes zero sense. Even though it wasn't the cheapest grocery haul, I'm going to introduce you guys to a couple concepts which I made up, but someone else probably figured it out before me. But I'm going to take credit because I didn't Google it or anything, so it's my original idea, at least in my head, because I didn't know anyone who did it beforehand. But a couple terms, CDR and PDR are very important. What do they stand for, you might ask? I'll tell you. Calories to dollar ratio. And then PDR, obviously, protein to dollar ratio. You take the amount of protein or the amount of calories, I do both for every product, the amount of protein and the amount of calories in a food, and divide it by the price. Now, I used to get really into this and like write out an optimization formula to optimize the protein and the calories, but for today, I'm just gonna mention two foods, one with the best CDR and one with the best PDR. Usually the best PDR is tuna, but tuna's expensive at Redner's. My parents did tell me the other day that it's really cheap at ShopRite, but also ShopRite is the opposite way of the gym, so it's near work, so maybe tomorrow after work I'll pick up some tuna there. This is going to be one meal which I just bought. It should come to no surprise that the best CDR is going to be ramen. Ramen is 59 cents, 380 calories. So you do 380 divided by 0.59 and you get 760 something, I believe. They didn't have any store brand beans, but Hanover brown sugar and bacon baked beans were $1.29. 8 grams of protein, 3.5 servings per container, along with 160 calories. Also, the sugar is not that crazy. So you're going to do 8 times 3.5, which is 28. Divide by $1.29, because that's how much it costs. And you're going to get about 24. The PDR of the cheapest tuna that I could find there was only 13. And tuna doesn't have any carbs, so you're missing out on a better CDR. I'm gonna go home and make this entire meal, and it's going to be 28 plus 9 grams of protein in the ramen, so 37 grams of protein, and 380 plus 160 times 3.5. If you eat this 5 times a day, you're getting 185 grams of protein and 4,700 calories, and you're gonna gain weight for about $10 a day. Personally, for me, 4,700 is a bulking diet. For you, maybe you can bulk on 3,500, or if push comes to shove and money's that, like, and the finances are looking that bad, you might just want to either maintain or go on a little cut until you get your money up, not your funny up. Get your money up, not your muscle up. Sometimes it be like that. The modern economy might push you into a cut, but you know, like, it is what it is. Gotta get through those hard times. Also, I must say, this is a temporary diet. You should not do this long term. And it's safe to eat like this for a couple days to a week until you get that paycheck. Health complications due to a bad diet is the result of a bad diet over a long period of time. If you eat like shit and don't eat fruits and vegetables because you can't afford them for like 5 to 10 days, and you're just like eating ramen at home, like, is that going to kill you in 10 days? No. Is it going to kill you in 30 days? Probably not. Is it going to kill you in 3 years? Maybe. It's all about your diet in the long term. You can, my mom the other day was talking about, like, oh, like, this food's good for you, this food's good for you. And every time she says shit like that, I'm like, Mom, like, you have to, no single food is good or bad for you. You have to evaluate the diet as a whole. And, like, she'll never understand that, because, I don't know, that's a very difficult concept for people to understand for some reason, but I understand it. Like, you can have, like, you can have a fucking cookie, goddammit, and as long as the rest of your diet's, like, dialed in, like, that cookie just gets nerfed by your amazing immune system. It's like if a baseball player goes 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, a double, and strikeout. Nobody gives a shit about that strikeout. He's 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and a double, or whatever I said. Just finished cooking. Takes about 5 minutes to chef this up on a stovetop. And if you don't have access to a stovetop, you use a microwave. If you don't have access to either, eat the beans cold and eat the ramen off the brick. Still has the same calories. Still has the same amount of protein. Times might be tough, but you're tougher. How does it taste? Doesn't matter. You're not going to get out of the situation by complaining about how your food tastes. It's a $2 meal. It's 940 calories and 34 grams of protein. 37 grams of protein for $2. Like, you're not in the position to complain. I should do my actual grocery haul with my budget if you guys enjoyed this video, because, like, obviously times aren't as tough as they used to be. Like, I don't have to eat on $2 a day, or $2 per meal, not $2 per day. I get paid about $30 to $40 per day for walking the horses. That's basically my grocery budget, and all the money that I make from social media, I'm saving to move out west. Given the nature of this video, post-workout book recommendation has to be Outliers, because you are an outlier. Outliers is another book written by Malcolm Gladwell. I wrote my college essay at Penn State on the book and the concept of the 10,000 hour rule in that video, in that book, where if you put 10,000 hours into a passion, that's how long it takes to become an expert at it. And Obviously, like 10,000 hours, it's more of like a motivational concept than like a set in stone rule. Some people are born with the genetics where they don't have to put in 10,000 hours to something, or vice versa. You could, like me, let's say. Actually, no, I'm kind of tall. That's not a good example. Like someone who's like 5'6" could put in 20,000 hours learning, like trying to play basketball. They love basketball. They want to be in the NBA. You're never going to be in the NBA. You're 5'6". Vice versa. Someone like Shaq works hard, don't get me wrong, but did he have to put in as much work as someone who's like 6'1" in the NBA? No. You're an outlier. You're going to work harder than everyone else. You're going to work harder than 99% of people because you saw this video. Some people are born and they just know, like, fuck, like, work hard, like, hard work. Some people are born, they're lazy, and they gotta figure it out for their own. They gotta make their own mistakes and recover from those mistakes and become a better person as a result of those mistakes. Maybe you were born working hard. Maybe you were born lazy, fucked up a couple times, and now you're working hard. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. But at the end of the day, you can do it. Put your mind to it, work harder than the rest, and you'll get where you need to be. That's going to do it for the video today. Love you guys. Thanks for the support. Peace.